I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psychacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is create the structure that you can surrender to. Humans need structure. Those without it sort of drift through life, which, while superficially romantic, is actually much more difficult than it seems, especially the older that you become. We thrive in structure because structure is what provides the opportunity for goal-directed activity. It creates meaning because it provides a context in which our striving makes sense. Nature does not provide that organically. We have to impose structure onto nature in order to create the possibility of purposeful action for ourselves. Now, that structure can come from one of two places, either externally or internally. It's much easier for folks to accept externally imposed structure, to surrender to that. I mean, think about it. Which is more compelling to motivate compliance? You telling yourself that you want to work out at the end of the day, or that your personal trainer is expecting you at the gym? It's just easier to surrender the expectation of others. That said, the danger of externally imposed structure is that we can't ever expect that structure to perfectly align with our own interests and desires. And the externally imposed structure, while providing us some benefit, generally serves the ends of the one who created it. So if we want a better match between our values and our goal-directed activity, we have to create it for ourselves. The issue is that an internally imposed structure is much harder to surrender to. However, this is a skill that can be developed through repetition. For instance, we don't train children and students to create internally imposed structure. Rather, we train them to be obedient and compliant to authority, parents, teachers, priests, and the externally imposed structure associated with authority's interests. So it might take some time to develop this capacity for creating internally imposed structure in yourself. Begin in small ways. A great way to do this is to treat your word as if it had the same authority as an externally imposed expectation. Treat your word like a legally binding contract with a business partner, and then surrender to your word. Fulfill your obligation, whether you like it or not. Without surrendering to a structure, you drift. However, if you only surrender to externally imposed structure, then on some level, you'll likely remain unfulfilled. The key to fulfillment in life is to create the structure that you can surrender to, and to practice in a disciplined and consistent way, surrendering to that structure as if it had the force of an externally imposed contract. Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, drop a comment below. And if you're interested in scheduling a consultation, you can reach me at psychackspodcast@gmail.com. Talk to you soon.